All right. Multidimensional beings are. Fourth dimension is the bridge to the fifth dimension. Like it's the bridge in between the fifth and the third dimension. But the bridge to the fifth dimension is basically the shadow world. Like it's the dream world where you see all your old thought processes, your old or past lives played out in front of your eyes. But it doesn't seem like it's your past life. It seems like it's a real. Well, it seems like it's like a conscious experience. It's more so a subconscious thing because you're dealing with old energies, but you have to recognize that you're dealing with old energies, and that's what the fourth dimension is like, dealing with old energies, but navigating through it with the mindset that you want to get out of those old habits, thoughts, feelings, emotions, time. Like all those things exist in a 3D world that is no longer relevant to you, or it should be no longer relevant to you if you reach a certain level of consciousness. And not everybody is aware of this yet, but for people that are aware of it, they'll know exactly what I mean when I say that you'll see like things that you have done before or things that you remember doing, and they seem like they're playing out again, but it's the same exact thing. It's like the 3D world, but your mind is like in another area. Like you're seeing it from a different point of view, like a different perspective. But the connection that you need to make is, first of all, with your heart, and through your heart you reach higher realms, higher dimensions. But you have to connect with your heart first to gain that knowledge and to cross that bridge that exists between the third and fifth dimension. The third dimension is the world that most people are aware of. It seems no different from the fourth dimension, but it's very different. And you'll notice that it's different because of the way you think about things and the way things manifest and how things feel. Like one of the ways that I personally know that I'm in the fourth dimension and that my perspective is different from someone who's in the third dimension is because of the way that I look at things and the way things feel. Like the energies that once were in certain situations aren't there anymore. Like things that have played out, like deja vu's, like that's what I can describe it as. Like when you get deja vu, where you notice like something has happened before and you feel like you're living it again, is because most of the time you are. And since you're living it again, you have the opportunity to look at it from a different perspective. Like maybe I was too mean to this person, or maybe I laughed at this joke that wasn't really funny and it made somebody feel uncomfortable, and I don't like the fact that it made somebody feel uncomfortable. Or maybe that you love somebody and you realize that it wasn't love, it was something else because you weren't connected to your heart. You were connected to something about them, and it made you feel like you were in love, or you love that person. But the fourth dimension itself is like almost like being trapped in a dream. And you're able to like really navigate through the dream, like understanding that it is a dream and that it's happened before, and that you're familiar with like so many different parts of it, like so many different parts of the dream almost seem like real because they're familiar. And since they're familiar, you identify with them in a certain way. But when you identify with them, you don't want to have the attachment that you once had to them. You want to look at the things that you identify with in a different perspective, or from a different perspective. You want to gain an understanding of the thing that you are identifying with. And that could be anything, literally anything. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. Like, you can take things from your life and see what it means for you. Like, I can take things from my life and say and use them as an example, but it probably wouldn't make sense in that regard. But it will make sense to me, like, because me explaining a specific thing would tell you that I have the perspective of this, but it wouldn't necessarily tell you that my perspective changed in any way or shape or form. But I could say, like, for those that are going through it, you'll know what I mean when you are in those deja vu situations, or those moments where thought patterns and time repeat itself. You'll know what I mean when I say that you can have a different perspective of those things. It's not a hard thing to do. But you have to be in the situation to like really, really get it. Like, to really comprehend it, you have to be in that situation.